Every Metroidvania draws a line in the sand with what they think separates them from the rest of the genre, as there are so many elements that come together to create this experience. And while the last case of Benedict Fox is certainly very weak in the combat department, which is even further exacerbated by questionable performance at times on the Xbox Series X, what it does have is a very rich atmosphere and an interesting premise that does the heavy lifting to draw attention away from these issues. You play as Benedict Fox, a detective in the early 1920s with a demonic presence attached to him that allows him to go into limbo of the recently deceased to find clues that can help him solve the case that it would have been otherwise lost forever, all to get to the bottom of some secret order doing some heinous things. Easily the best feature is atmosphere, as the game oozes it from its Lovecraftian tentacles. The 2.5D visuals are gorgeous, and all the little things make this game feel immersive in a crowded genre. Personal touches include the shop being owned by Houdini, which is nestled inside of his traveling briefcase, or the skill tree being a tattoo artist who inks your arm to form new upgrade. The crafting system is also clever, incorporating random and sometimes disturbing elements that you will find on your journey. The story is somewhat compelling, and the voice acting for the most part does a good job of making it feel real. The map is extremely well detailed, and they did a good job of giving the areas a distinct feel, but unfortunately the map did feel a little too big by the end, with too many dead ends and time wasted going down pointless paths for no reason. Most of the technical areas, including controls and performance, leave room for improvement. Controls can sometimes feel like they are fighting you, which creates an issue with the genre, as you are never quite sure if you're currently gated out of this area or if there are technical issues that are holding you back. You need to save and exit the game often, because multiple times this game has crashed on me, erasing hours of progress. There is noticeable stuttering when shifting between certain screens. The idea of going between reality and limbo is a fantastic idea that sets Benedict Fox apart, but unfortunately, there are a lot of loading screens that feel longer than necessary. Combat can sometimes feel unfair when there are multiple enemies, because you can get hit when you are already down because of the period of invincibility running out a little too soon. You also only start the game with only 4 HP, and in the areas with multiple enemies, your life can be ended before you can even react at times. Luckily, Benedict Fox doesn't hang its hat on that aspect of the game, or boss fights, in which there are very few, and depending on what you consider this, there are basically only 2 boss fights. Then there are the puzzles, which are a major part of the game, and they can range drastically in difficulty, and overall, the lack of information that's relayed to the player at times can be very frustrating, all the way up to the final boss. The game fails to indicate to the player that they are doing something right or they are on the right track. The last case of Benedict Fox ended up coming up a little bit short. The game started out very promising, but ended up losing a lot of steam by the time the credits rolled at around the 8-hour mark. Overall, the game needed a lot more time in development, as there were just too many bugs between hard crashing, characters getting stuck, and stuttering issues. With more polish and refinement, Benedict Fox could have been one of the greats of the genre.